All right, peace, world. Come on, Freeman, Angry Black Man in Therapy, representing We Act Radio, joined by some good friends of mine, not old friends, but long-time friends who have been doing some fabulous work in the community. And you will all know, contrary to popular belief, our children should not be criminalized. Our children should not be stigmatized with negativity because they come from environments that are not ideal. Because our children are our future, they are our best investment, and we need to pour into them. We need to acknowledge that they are the future, and we need to make sure that they have a better start than many of us had. And I'm so thrilled that these talented young ladies have taken the time to pour into these young people. I want to introduce you the people who are responsible for the Children's Legacy Theater, and that would be Miss Taylor and Miss Bess. Welcome to We Act Radio, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here. On behalf of our executive director, Ms. Jackie Carter, we are here and we thank We Act Radio and Studios for allowing us to promote the ninth annual 10-Minute Play Festival, produced completely by a youth-led cast and crew by the Children's Legacy Theater. Myself and Ms. Best are instructional, operational. We are here. I call myself the gopher because whatever the Children's Legacy Theater is doing it, I go for it. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Miss Best, the Heel Assist, and hear what she has to say about this wonderful program we're here to promote.
All right, y'all, what's happening? I am here with the talented youth of Children's Legacy Theater. We're very excited. We are getting pumped for August the 1st at Bard, our early college high school. We want you in the building at 5 p.m. It's going to be an amazing time. And I have some young people here who are going to tell you all about what they're doing at this festival.
But tell us who our future is looking bright right today.
Say it again.
Well, tell us who we have our future that's looking bright with today.
Oh, our future's looking bright with.
I'm Gracie Lather. I am 15. I go to Eastern High School, and I am a part of the Actors Department.
Hello, my name is Azilo Curie. I'm 15. I'm in the 11th grade, and I go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and I'm a playwright/director.
Oh, we got a writer in the house.
Hello, my name is Phoenix Meadows. I'm 14, and I'm going to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and I'm a playwright.
Two writers.
Hello, my name is Cameron Jackson. I go to Kip Legacy High School, and I am a costume maker. I hope make costumes.
Okay, well, I myself am a writer. If I do say so myself. So I'm thrilled to hear other young writers. I hope that you guys are putting in the work because writers write. So you have to keep writing. Okay, you have to keep writing. You don't have to write every single day, but you have to keep writing. And even if the stuff you don't like, don't sit there and wait for an idea to hit you. If you're doing that, that means that you're waiting to replenish your vessel because writing is pouring out, reading is pouring in, and life experience is pouring in. So to the writers, there's some free advice for you guys. So tell us about this 10-minute play and the Children's Legacy Theater, and when is it and where is it?
So a couple of things. So the Play Festival is happening on Friday, August the 1st at 5 p.m. at Bard High School. It's 1351 Alabama Avenue Southeast. And we're so excited to be here in this particular space. The theme behind this is Beneath the Surface, and where that came from is the playwrights did an assignment where they talked about their life as a river, where they went down and looked at what was beneath the surface of their lives and what they've been experiencing and the things that they wanted people to know about teen mental health. And so for each of them, they picked a cause of something that they care about, that they wanted you to know from teen mental health. So y'all want to tell them what you care about most with teen mental health?
Well, as an angry black man in therapy, I want to really support mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. What I know about like teen mental health, like it can be shown in many different ways. Most of the time, like, well, not most of the time, but sometimes it'll be the brightest star that's always going through its hardest times. That's one of the quotes that I've always been told. And
Martin Luther King said that only in the darkness can you see the stars.
That's true. That's true.
And he struggled with mental health. And we don't share those stories enough. Martin Luther King got dressed and was so depressed, he got back in the bed with his suit on and his shoes on and pulled the covers over his head, you know, and they had to come get him, you know. So I'm sharing that so that you know that you too, when you dealing with your issues, that it's not just you, baby. All right.
Yeah.
And you can make it, you can make it through.
Absolutely. Okay.
Please continue. I didn't want to interrupt you. I just want to add on.
Go ahead, you can finish up.
Yeah,
So
please
basically
finish your
tell them
thought.
about, like, you talked about physical health and things that you were
Mhm.
concerned about.
Yeah, I think it can be shown in many different ways. Like most of the time, you would never expect it because, like I said, the bright star always shine in their brightest, in their darkest moments, something like that. And I feel as if that mental health needs to be way more talked about, especially in teens, because I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So many times we don't listen to young people. We always talking to young people and we don't listen to young people. And I'm glad to see that this platform is available so you guys can find your voices. Please continue.
Mhm.
I would just like to say, teen mental health, what it means to me.
Yeah, what it means to you and what topics, because you are a playwright that wrote about a specific topic. So tell everybody about that.
So teen mental health to me, first of all, is like a mental health of a teen, yes. But it's also just shows this teen is just not only a child. This teen is a person who goes through things every day, who goes through emotions. It's just not like, oh, you're just a child. You're not going through anything. You're
Mm,
just overreacting. No, people go through things just like
mhm.
you as an adult or whoever is saying that to you also goes through things. The teen or the child also goes through stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's really important because a lot of times, what the youth were saying was that one of the biggest things is that adults always tell them, "Oh, you young, you not going through nothing. Live a
Yeah,
little.
when I was your age, we
Yeah.
walked through, 10
You-
miles to school. Yeah,
Right,
no.
right.
Now, my grandmother used to say you ain't old enough to be tired. Now,
Right. Or they say you don't pay no bills, so
Yeah.
you ain't really going through nothing.
But,
But one of the things that I really love about Azil in the play that he wrote is the topic that he talked about is something that is so prevalent in the community, but I don't think it's something that we address. So I'm really glad it's coming out in the 10-minute play festival. So you want to tell them about Red in the Living Room?
Yes. So
hold on. What's the title of your work, young man? The writer?
Red in the Living Room.
Red in the Living Room.
Yes.
Please
So
continue.
basically that project has been with me since sixth grade. It has been something I started like in like my drama class. Oh, write a story about some topic. And at first it didn't really start off the way like it is now. It was just something little. Oh, this boy, he's adopted. He's going to a new home. This, that, and the third. But then as I just grew my love for writing, it became something that was more passionate, and it was from other people's experience and also my experience. So what the play is about this young girl, Jenny, which is played by Gracie, getting
The
adopted
actress.
by Scarlett. And Scarlett at first it seemed to be this lovely woman who's beautiful, charming, loves children, but
That must be
that's
very hard
not
for her to play that role.
Yes. But beneath the
but
surface.
beneath the surface,
Mm.
something's not quite right.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna spoil it all, but most of the stories and what Gracie's character, Jenny, it comes from mostly personal experiences
Mm.
and from close friends' experiences.
Mhm.
Like I remember some of the words, I'm not sure if I know just a few words were said across like a conversation between me and my friend. And it just happened while writing. I'm like, I remember that. Or like I'm also direct my own play as well.
Oh,
So
you
I'm reading through
probably
the
Tyler
script. I
Perry. You're
see.
gonna write, direct, produce, act, star.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I'm going through the script and I'm seeing the actors do this, I'm like, this could be because I did this when I was going through this experience. Oh, let's put this in this scene. Oh, let's do this and let's do this. It just basically It's something, a project of mine that has just not been come through thanks to Children's Legacy Theater. So,
Yeah. And it's important because the foster care system, particularly in DC, Kimon, the foster care system, the adoption system, and all of the things that go under the radar for young people who are and when you're in programs like this, a lot of that stuff comes out. And so in this piece in particular, what they're going to experience is the teens' view of the foster care and adoption system.
Well, thank you for interrupting the school to prison pipeline. I wanted to hear from the other writers.
Yes. Okay.
What's the question again?
So you were talking about, so we're talking about teen mental health, but talk about what's something that's important to you and your piece, Oceans Without Hope, about what the topics that you're exploring about teen mental health in there and why they're important.
Get some strong titles: Red in the Living Room and Oceans Without Hope.
Can I get a second? I need to gather what I need to say.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, while we're doing that, Cam is over here, who's doing costume design. Brother making it happen. You talked about what something that you cared about in terms of teen mental health. You want to talk about that?
I see you got a little fashion. You got a little drip going on.
Okay.
Okay.
So some things that I talked about with teen mental health it was some things what Gracie said, but about like drugs and stuff. And so what sometimes when you are coming from a family of abuse or certain things of that sort, some of the things that somebody plays, the only thing that will help at the moment is that drug. And now some people, they say, oh, I'm not getting no other stuff, but sometimes that drug not going to always get you as high as you thought it was going to be. And so you got to move and go to another drug and another drug. And that's why so many of these crackheads and these things on these streets, because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but there's so many of these
That's all right. No, real is real. Keep it 100.
Going through so much stuff mentally because nobody was there to help them. And when they went as a child and they went to try to find help, they were rejected because of the age factor, because of the way that they say things. But a lot of kids in the city, when they don't know how to speak to people, they come off as different. And that's what lots of goes like. Same thing in a school building. Like I see kids as my friends. They don't talk like me. They don't know how to code switch. So because they don't know how to code switch, they come off very strong. But because I know them, I'd be like, well, Miss da-da-da, he's not gonna be like, no, he disrespectful. I'm telling you, it's not what you think it is. If you don't talk to the child to find out what's behind it, you'll think that that's who he is, and that's not the person. You got to know what happened to him.
Is that the beneath the surface?
Yeah, beneath the surface, another beneath the surface. And that's real. Cam, you brought up like a strong point because in thinking about y'all, about like how even y'all get introduced to drugs, you know what I mean? And how, you know what I mean? And like and for you, where you were saying how like sometimes that's the alternative. That's what, if I'm looking at you and I'm judging you, what happens, you know what I mean? In that state. But that's really, really important because they say that like behavior is the result of an unmet need. So if you have somebody who is either acting out or doing the thing, it's like, what is it that they need? Because there's some need that's not being met. So that's a really strong point.
All right. So I want to go back to Mr. Phoenix. You're in the hot seat, sir. Speak on your work, sir.
So
no one's more qualified to speak on your behalf but yourself, sir.
My take on teens' mental health is a lot of teens, we go through problems such as grief, gun violence, and the list goes on and on. I mainly wanted to talk about the fact that we have no one really there's a lot of situations where some teens don't have someone to talk to, whether it's a parent or a friend. There's more like it leads to then you getting backed up in a corner where, like Cam said, the only thing that you can go to is drugs. And it leads to then you being on a really bad pathway. My story doesn't really talk about that, but my story talks about more so fitting in, which also revolves around the drug situation that Cam said, where my story, this character named Devon, he pretty much is trying to fit, and not trying to fit in, but he's trying to more so get his way around through high school his senior
Mhm.
year
Mhm.
without having to cause any problems and more so stay in the shadows. But he's learning that he more so has to be out. He has to stop letting people more so push him around, if that makes sense. And he has to more so stand up for himself, which I feel like a lot of teens are unable to do due to
But
the
but
lack of.
but like what you doing right now, right?
Mhm,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're speaking on your behalf, right?
Yeah.
mhm,
And you're not only doing that, you put it to paper, so now it's on public record, and even when you're gone, those words will still be here and it may just affect and impact somebody else. All right.
Mm. Yeah.
Now, young people, you guys are, and ladies, 14 to 15 years old. Now, raise your hand if you know someone who's been in jail.
I don't know.
You're the only one. Good. All
Mhm.
right. Raise your hand if you know someone who's been killed or shot. All right. Now, do you think that's normal? You think that the average 14, 15-year-old kid has those experiences?
It's can I speak?
Yeah.
You
It's
can respond to that.
it's not a normal humanely thing,
Mm.
but because a problem because it was not solved or brought up, it was not brought up enough. It seems like that's just another day around because the
Mm.
problem wasn't brought up enough. So it
These
seemed normal to
these
keep
are the
doing it.
these are realities in too many of our environments, but it's not the reality in everyone's environment. And one of the problems is that we have been sold a bit of goods where it has convinced us that this is normal. And once you accept that as normal, then you don't question it, and you'll be more acceptable to it and more susceptible to it.
Mm.
And we have to reject that. It's not normal. It's not right. And we have the power to change it. The greatest power is convincing people they don't have any. And each and every one of you guys have to maintain that belief in yourself that you have the power to alter your environment because you do. All right.
Yeah.
You do. You select the circle of people you choose to spend time with. You select where you want to go to school at. You select what activities you want to be involved with. All these are parts of your environment. So you can have the wherewithal to create your own world. And when you're writing, you literally have the license to create your own world. And I want to inspire you guys to continue to do that. Now, Miss Taylor and Miss Bess, tell us, how did this program come about? What is your role in this program? And what do people have to look forward to on August 1st for the 9th annual 10-minute festival?
Okay. Before that, Gracie had something passionate she wanted to speak on, and then
The
we'll give you
actress.
that. Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted to build on to the point where what Cam made. I feel like since I feel like it depends on like where you look at it from when it comes to gun violence and stuff like that. I feel like if you have never experienced somebody like get shot or get killed and like it's your first time and it's somebody who's close to you, then like you realize that this is not normal, especially if the person wasn't even into that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing that they make normal is that the fact that it happens so much and they don't never speak on it until it's police brutality. They never
Mm.
want to speak on it. But when police gets to the question, now everybody wants to do riots, stuff like that. Okay, that's something to also speak up on. But they don't realize that it's little babies out here getting shot.
Yeah.
Like when people are just trying to celebrate. So, and I don't like how that's made normal
Mhm.
and nobody speaks on that
Mhm.
when that's just as much as a problem because we're supposed to be a family, but we're out here killing each other. I'm not even gonna say we're,
Mhm.
but
Right.
as we're supposed to be together, we're out here killing each other, and
Mhm.
that's not okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not
And I
okay.
don't like how it's made normal.
They
Yeah.
don't make it any better by putting more liquor stores and more other things out
Exactly.
there.
Say that again. Say
Like
that again.
they're putting literally it's literally set up for us to die. Like
Mhm.
And
it's not set up for us to
More liquor stores.
Mhm.
The
It's
brother's
like
talking
I
about. He
can
said he
count-
see it. The
I
more
can
Yeah,
liquor
count
stores.
my-
that's a problem. And I got little Kevin right here, so I'm not I'm knocking the happy hour. But the fact is that the mayor, council members, and even the ABRA board could not answer a simple question. How many liquor
Mhm.
stores is too many liquor stores? Because
Mhm.
we clearly have the highest concentration of liquor stores is in our communities. And in
Mhm.
those communities, we at the same time have a food desert with the lack of concentration of healthy food options. Ward 3, for example, has 15 grocery stores, right? Ward 7 has 3, right? But Ward 7 has more people than Ward 3. So
Mhm.
how can you, the math ain't mathing,
Right.
you know? And you know what else Ward 7 and Ward 8 got more of? They got more liquor stores than
Mhm.
Ward 3.
Yep.
Ward 3 got more grocery stores, we got more liquor stores. So what are they doing? They telling
Mhm.
you what is important for
Mhm.
them and to see in our environment. And we have to begin to clap back and tell
Yep.
them that this is not normal, nor is it
Mhm.
acceptable. And I'm
And
so glad you.
that's really good. That's really great, Kimon, because and our response to that is Children's Legacy Theater. So part of the clapback is that we exist as a safe space for youth in wards 7 and 8 to be able to like create, to relate, you know what I mean, and to be able to devise these plays to speak, to give way to their voice, so that they have a space that they don't have to be in those environments, and that they can then lead and leave their own legacy by what they, you know, saying, no, that's not my story. This is my story, right? So really like kind of mutilating his story and putting in their story, you know, and that's what we exist to do. And that's what they're going to see on August the 1st when they come at 5 o'clock at Bard for the 10-minute play festival.
And I would be remiss if I don't point out the fact that east of the river, Ward 7 and Ward 8 in the nation's capital has the majority of the children population in this city. The
Mhm.
majority of the children are east of the river, but unfortunately, the child poverty rate in DC is twice the national average. 30% of our kids are living in poverty. And somehow that has been normal until what? They act out and do something crazy, you know, because they
Mhm.
living in poverty and they only it never even comes up as you know, a cause of violence, you know.
Mhm.
And people need to understand that when poverty knocks on the door, love goes out the window, you know.
Mhm.
So it's not that our kids are necessarily wilding out. It's not that our kids are actually something wrong with them, other than the fact that they may be like, overexposed to lead pipes,
Yeah. And AI.
which actually contributes to violence, and they are devoid of key nutrients while their minds are developing because they're living in food deserts, and that's also a precursor for violence. But also the fact that poverty itself is violence. But they never want to
Mhm.
have those conversations about the causes of it. So I want to make sure that that was put out here because I'm always here to plead the case for our young people. All right, Ms. Taylor, you got the last word as we wrap this up.
I thank you. I don't think you could have given me a better segue because the Children's Legacy Theater is in about its 30th year. Our executive director, Jackie Carter, created this space, as exactly Ms. Princess DeHelis has said, to create a safe space for those children coming out of homes that are less than conducive to becoming a viable citizen. And in terms of you saying that poverty is violence, again, you know, we've stood on this shoulder to shoulder in many a different way. And I think that everything that we've been working for is truly coming full circle. Looking at our kids, and just to let it be known, my children actually worked for this program before I did. It took me about a year and a half to even realize it was Jackie. And that's what this program creates: fellowship, peer camaraderie, and family. And when it comes to programming for us, particularly as you said, east of the river and nationally, our programs must have an arm of love and the nurturing legacy that will allow us to believe in ourselves again. And not for nothing, my executive director is premier in educating us on how to deal with us. And you know who I am truly. So with that, as she say, the bell goes, ring a ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding, ring a ding, ding.
Well,
And,
I
but
want to.
but Miss Maker, as I'm sorry,
Go
I
right
couldn't
ahead.
hear.
Go right ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say as we close, I would love for the youth to actually close us out with their last words because they're gonna be the legacy folks, right? They're the legacy folks. So one thing that you want people to take away from this festival. So they're watching and they're gonna come on August the 1st at 5 p.m. What's the one thing that you want them to take away from this festival?
Okay. I think what everyone who comes to this festival should take away of the hurt that teens really go through. And I really want them to take into consideration if they do have a teen, please check in on them mentally. Because you'll never know what's going through their head. It might not be soon, it might not be later, but checking on your teen because you don't want nothing to happen to them. You should want them to consider you as their safe space. We barely have that now. So I say take that into consideration.
One thing as a playwright and as a director, what I want the audience to know is to be their own inspiration and be their own change in their lives. It doesn't matter teen, adult, grandpa, grandma, baby, just to be the own change in your life. Because you might think, oh, I can't change myself because I'm already flawed. I've done this, I've done that. Just dwell on the past. Don't dwell on the past. Think about what you're gonna do. It doesn't matter if you do a daily planner each day. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do today to get out from whatever is haunting you, especially for a teen. Like if you have really like a bad home life or like a bad environment, you just have to find something within you that's gonna make you this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, but I'm gonna take time out for me. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my life to become better. Just that whole message.
What I want people to take away from our play festival is that you don't really have to change, sort of building on what he said, you don't have to change for anyone else. And you more so have to, I advise changing for the better version of you that you want to see in the future.
Yeah.
I want you to take from this conversation, don't regularize certain things that we've said. Make that a big thing. That's first. And then from our play festival, I want you to take, be yourself and also be yourself and don't let anybody tell you who to be. Don't let your mother, your father, no matter who you are, you always respect your mother and your father always, but don't you let nobody ever tell you who you're going to be and how your future dictates your life.
All right. There you have it. There we have it. And a child shall lead them. Two quotes I'll leave you guys with. One is one of my heroes. Her name is Dr. Angela Davis. If you do not know who she is, I advise you to look her up. Dr. Angela Yvonne Davis. She's a superhero that's walking amongst us. She says that I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I can no longer accept. Right? And then the last one is Bruce Lee, the poet warrior Bruce Lee. He says, do not allow yourself to be influenced by outward success or failure. Instead, be confident in your strength and bide your time. And I think you guys are doing a good job of biding your time right now because you're taking advantage of your time and you are pouring into yourselves and into your future. And we're here to support that. And we're very proud of you. And we hope that you continue to go forth boldly. All right. I want you to inhale courage and exhale fear. All right. That's what we're doing. Wasa. Right. So when somebody gets you wrong and you got that moment, just wasa. Okay. Let it go. All right. All right, this is Kamon Freeman, Engel Black Man Therapy, representing We Act Radio. I want to thank Ms. Taylor and Ms. Best and her 4 lovely young people who are leading the way at the Children Legacy Theater, August the 1st. Please give the website out for people who can purchase tickets in advance. Website, please.
Children's Legacy Theater 8.org, and there is a $10 donation request. You can pay that online, and we look forward to your support and your butts in seats on August the 1st.
All right, you heard it first. You can get your tickets in advance. It's only $10. If you ain't got it, bring your EBT card. We'll work something out for you. Right?
We got PayPal too.
All right.
Yes. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Avenue. From our heart to your heart, let's get that stuff together and be a bigger heart for this ugly world as we try to make it better. Thank you, young people leading the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, hold on.